Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Hey, Sarah, Jenny, Red Door, Patty, Robin, Chris, Red Door. Hey, Michelle. So, about a few months ago, a friend of mine, hey, Tammy, a friend of mine sent me a few articles for an idea for a stream, and I said, "Oh, that's such a good idea." Because she was listening around and heard people like Natasha Cooper and Hooker start calling me, Jamie, and Siren the P word. It really caused a fuss to the point where Dorothy had to chime in and say what Natasha said and did was wrong. So she sent me this girl sent me, I'm not gonna mention her name. So she sent me articles of actual criminals who are females who abuse kids. Now, females can abuse children in many different ways, but females typically don't go there, according to the statistics. As everyone may know, that sexual assault, rape, or sexual violence is an underreported crime as it is. So the statistics we have here come from a sex offender registry and convictions or arrests for sex crimes of all types. So let me read the statistics. For everyone before we get started here. There are over 786,000 people on the US sex offenders registry. Texas is the state with the highest number of sex offenders. 10.9 of registered sex offenders have two or more sexual offense convictions. 44.5% of those on the sex offender registry are required to register for more than 25 years. Juvenile sex offenders account for 25.8% of all sexual offenders. Males make up between 80 and 90% of all sex offenders. Girls are 2 to 3 times more likely to be molested. Children with disabilities are 3 times more likely to suffer sexual assault. Released child molesters are 4 times more likely to get rearrested for a sex crime. So those are the statistics. Now, another statistic is that these crimes are underreported. It doesn't matter if the offender is male or female. It's underreported. There are plenty of these crimes that happen daily in this country that are not reported to police. So here's the clincher here. Males make up anywhere between 80% and 90%. So we'll go with the 80%. And so 20% of females are sex offenders in some way. That's an eye opener. Hey, Shan, welcome. So we have someone in this community. Her name is Flashlight, who sits there and defended a Daniel Mitchell. Now, what he did, there's two different versions of the story. One was he went into a McDonald's and filmed children up close and personal. Went home and added disgusting, vile, unforgivable commentary to it. Hey, Samantha. This guy Daniel Mitchell adds commentary. Now I'm not going to play the tape. I'm sure plenty of you have seen it before. And then the other story, or Flashlight's response to this, is, well, he didn't go into a McDonald's. He didn't go into McDonald's at all. He stole footage from someone on the McDonald's play equipment. I don't know if it's outside or inside. They have these playrooms or whatever. And added his disgusting pedophilic commentary to it. Now, either story there's not much of a difference. And she sits there on video in 2016. This is in 2016, everyone. In 2016, she white knights for the guy, saying, well, the kids were not under 7 years old. So she was implying, in my opinion, what's the big deal? It is a big deal. It's disgusting. It's degrading. And then the Flashlight decides to bitch and whine that someone called the police on him to do an investigation. So I'm gonna read the definition of pedophilia to everyone. So they're saying She's saying it's the age of 7. Wrong. It's 13 and under, dumbass. If you even bothered to look it up. You would see here, it's on Wikipedia, that they're saying it's a psychiatric disorder. I don't care if it's a psychiatric disorder or not. Because I was told, this is the I watched a documentary on this, and they had these creeps in prison, and the prison psychologist or psychiatrist explained that these sex crimes are crimes of power, and a lot of and she said, it's a female psychiatrist, and she said that they're not attracted to kids. It's the power and control that gives them, what do you call it? Their woodies up. It's not the bodies. It's not the not a sexual orientation, so to speak. It's a crime of power. So Flashlight thinks it's all right to white knight for someone making comments like that, and then backtracks the whole thing and says, I don't approve of it, what he did. Give me a fucking break. You're the one sitting there white knighting for the person in 2016. Flashlight. Your words, not ours. Hey, Rebel. Hey, Stevie. Zen. Shan. Nothing. Michelle, nothing shocking at all of her horrific behavior. Really, nothing anymore. So when Natasha Cooper Natasha decides to sit there and call me, Jamie, and Siren the P word. No proof whatsoever provided. And then Natasha doubles down and says, I beat my mommy. So the Flashlight is now repeating that bullshit. She was repeating that over at Kimball's channel. And then Voices was over there on panel with Flashlight defending Glenn's right to make threats. Well, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. He's going to beat the shit out of you. Or he's going to threaten you equally. Bullshit. So, but these people don't realize that fellow females can be sex offenders too. So, how many on that side? Hey, Auntie. Hey, Violet. So many of these females that go on their virtue signaling. Hey, Jess. So many of these women, or if I'd call them ladies in the first place, sit there and make false accusations after false accusation. This one's a pedo. This one's this. This one's the P word. I don't like this person because of this. No proof whatsoever. And if you want to go by Flashlight's logic here, all right, we're not on the sex offender registry. We weren't arrested or convicted. There's no proof whatsoever that we're talking sexual to a child. But then we have Sophie hosting a person named Lola on her panel, sexualizing a 10-year-old, calling her a 5-letter word, which I'm not going to mention here, but we all know what that word was. How can a 10-year-old be that? Yeah, these people have something. These people have something wrong with them. Seriously wrong with them. Yes, Jamie will be live at 8. So we'll be done by 8 o'clock with this. So I was looking at Reddit, and they have these stories. These stories can't be verified, but there are plenty of stories where teenagers get seduced by their best friend's mommy or someone in authority. They never filed charges, according to these reports. There are actual documented cases of non-sexual contact between children and females where they're contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Now, what does that mean, everyone? Hey, Spooky. So, contributing to the delinquency of a minor is buying alcohol for a minor, buying porn for a minor, anything along those lines. That's what that would be considered, and plenty of females would do that. So the two articles I got were of females in authority. They worked at a school. One was the lunch lady who had sexual relations with the teenage boy and got arrested. She's not a spring chicken. She's cuckoo in the head, and she got arrested and charged. So we're gonna go through we're gonna go through 9 of the most prolific female perverts out there. or that were caught. So these people in the other camp need to have some self-awareness on who they call the P word, because some of these so-called ladies don't even act ladylike. No proof of anything. Some of them could be projecting their own fantasies, disgusting fantasies, and calling other people these names, which are dangerous in itself. So the flashlight has no issues calling Jamie the P word falsely, or me, or anyone else, and put them in danger while she sits up on panel with someone caught on tape with a friend of his. We all know who that is, right, everyone? Going to the beach in the truck, hunting down 12-year-olds. And making derogatory comments like that. And he has the nerve to sit there and call Jamie out. Hey, navigator. So these ladies don't understand that 20% of females are crazy enough to sexually assault children. That's right, 20%. And I'd say a good maybe 10% enable the male. Like Flashlight is doing. So this Daniel Marion Mitchell guy, she was enabling his behavior by saying, "Oh, he's not." The kids were over 8, so there's nothing really. You're using the wrong term. But here's the thing: we use the word pedophile in a manner. A lot of people. This is from my personal experience when I've been in chat rooms or other conversations like on Facebook back in the day. We use that word to describe any male or any female, by that matter, that has an interest in someone that's underage. Simple. There may be another term for someone that has an attraction, or I wouldn't even call it attraction, or who goes after teenagers. But yeah, it's becoming an epidemic to the point, and you're absolutely right, Michelle. There's so many reports of female teachers, female staffers being sexually involved with middle schoolers. Middle schoolers. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah, he didn't go into the McDonald's. He took someone else's footage who went into the McDonald's. I don't care if he went into the McDonald's or not. He still added his commentary, his disgusting bullshit commentary, to the point where he got the police called on him. Good for the person who decided to call the police, who thought he was a danger to kids. Good for them. because I'm fucking sick of these the real people that offend kids getting away with it. Now the police investigated and probably couldn't find anything wrong. However, that's on the police. Yeah, it's a special kind of disgusting, Michelle. And that's one thing in my mind that's unforgivable. Now, Robbie may say, well, everyone's forgivable by God, but we're not God. We're human beings with morals, and there's no walking back from it. There's no walking back from it, people. There's absolutely no walking back. Yeah, Zen, it takes a special kind of disgusting and vileness to do stuff like that. And in that documentary I watched, they were interviewing pedophiles, real pedophiles that were doing time. And they asked the point blank question, how many kids did you offend? And the answer was absolutely disgusting. Well, over 100. I lost count before I got caught. Interesting, isn't it? Once you ruin, once these so-called the real predators get caught, in my opinion, they shouldn't be let out. Even get the, and to be frank, I think they should. I think they should have the death penalty for it. It's in line with murder. And then I see these people online, these some of these females saying they can't help it. Bullshit. Hey Sizzle. Bullshit, they can't help it. It's a choice to offend in the first place. It's a choice to get help before you even offend in the first place. So I'm sick and tired of these people on TV gallivanting, saying these females I see on the internet saying, well, they can't control their urges. Fuck you. I don't care about their urges. There's plenty of people in this world that can abstain from doing acts like that. But the flashlight just wants to sit there and get people all pissed off. So she white snipes for Daniel Mitchell in 2016. All these excuses. So There were a bunch of cases, and most of these women are actually teachers. So, and it's disgusting. So, or school staff, or they work for the courts, or they have some kind of job where they're in contact. So, there's 8 of them here, but we're gonna end it with a big bang. All right, one of the worst I've seen. So, okay, let's get this full screen. So, oh, thank you so much, Sizzle. So here we go. It's her name's Lindsay Massaro. I don't care if I say her name right because she's a piece of shit. And in 2009, 23-year-old teacher Lindsay Massaro admitted to having sexual encounters in her bedroom and her car with one of her male pupils. Massaro was a teacher at the K8 Frankfort Elementary School in Sussex County, New Jersey. Mazzaro was still a student teacher at the time, being a senior at Cemetery College in Hackettstown. She was working towards getting her state special education teaching certificate. You are a piece of shit, lady. So there's her mugshot. Nothing special with this cunt. Nothing really special. Massaro told police investigators that she had a 1 week relationship with her middle school student victim. One of her sexual encounters with her pupil occurred in her car in Branchville. During an encounter, Massaro took the boy to her home in Frankfort, where they had sex in her bedroom. She was arrested and charged with fourth-degree criminal sexual contact, third-degree endangering the welfare of a minor, and second-degree sexual assault. The most serious charge was punishable up to 10 years in prison. Massaro admitted that she had sexual encounters with the boy, but she claimed it was a consensual sexual relationship. As part of the plea bargain, she pleaded guilty to 1 count of second-degree sexual assault. The state recommended parole supervision for life and a 4-year prison sentence. Well, this girl should have got a lot more time in jail. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. Yeah, sick people, aren't they? So these are the females getting in on the action. And I wouldn't even call it action because that's but these but so okay, we're going to the next one. Kara Dickey. So who's this little cunt ass bitch? Kara Dickey is another female pedophile who was a teacher from New York who sexually assaulted one of her students. Horrifying, she made a suicide pact with her victim. After the 34-year-old former teacher was convicted of raping her minor student, aged 14, she spent 3 years in prison before being released to home detention with with an ankle bracelet. She then somehow removed the bracelet and disappeared. Look at this bitch. Look at this scud's bucket of a woman. And I'm not degrading females to the hate watchers. These are actual criminals who abused kids in the worst possible manner. And anyone in that camp could be one too. At the time of her offense, the middle school teacher was married, mother of three. Her parole officer has received information not long before her disappearance that Dickey may be involved with another minor. The police suspected she may have run away with one of her other victims. Facing additional prison time, the former teacher was arrested again in Buffalo. In 2015, for parole violations, she has since been released from prison. Dickey is now a registered sex offender and will remain on probation until 2020. Well, she should be in jail for life, in my opinion, the death penalty, or lifetime supervision, because Megan's Law, in my opinion, isn't good enough. Notifying parents that these scuzz buckets are in their neighborhoods. It's not enough. It simply isn't enough for them just to do their prison time, even if they don't get out on parole, even if they do the full Monty. Some of these people, if they have to release them, they should be on lifetime supervision with Megan's List restrictions. But once they're off their probation or yeah, I agree with you then. But the Supreme Court unfortunately put an end to that. The Supreme Court put an end to the death penalty because Louisiana and South Carolina had the death penalty as an option for these scuzz buckets. So it's either life, the options are life, or a custodial sentence of like 25 years, or what the deal is. Absolutely. And it's not the list, Jenny. That's the problem. It's who watches the people on that list. Just knowing who these people are, I think, is not good enough. There has to be some kind of custodial supervision, such as probation or parole, for these scuzz buckets with restrictions. So when these so-called terms of probation get violated, like this woman did, she took off her ankle monitor bracelet and disappeared. She could do additional jail time, even if they complete their entire sentence. So here's another one. Jennifer Lee Burton, number 3. Jennifer Lee Burton was a 39-year-old PE teacher who was accused of having an unlawful sexual relationship with a 14-year-old female student. So this isn't just opposite sex crimes, everyone. So this PE teacher was had a lesbian relationship with a 14-year-old female student. The sexual abuse continued for a period of 2 months. Burton was a coach and teacher at Orangefield Junior High School. After being charged with 3 counts of felony sexual assault, Burton resigned from the South Texas Middle School where she was teaching. The former teacher was indicted by an Orange County grand jury on 3 counts of the improper teacher student relationship and on 3 counts of sexual assault. The felonies are punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Here's the skank. Here's the skank's mugshot. Nothing impressive here. Burton made a plea deal with prosecutors by pleading guilty to 1 charge of improper relationship with a student and 2 charges of sexual assault. The former teacher and coach accepted a 10-year prison time deal offered. However, her attorney, Larry Hunter, blamed the victim, saying the 14-year-old female student was not the only active participant, but also the real instigator of the sexual contact. But Corey Nealand, assistant district attorney at Orange County, made it clear that it is improper and inappropriate to imply a child victim is responsible for this act. Excuse me, but the 14-year-old is the child and she's the adult. I don't care if it was consensual or not, bitch. I don't care. You have no right to take advantage of a student like that. No right. Yeah, yeah, Auntie, you had the death penalty in Texas still, but only for murder. Unfortunately, we can't use that for these types of criminals because if we did and it was more widespread, I'd support it 100%. If they want to commit if these girls want to commit the crime like the guys, they can go to death row with the men. That's just how I view it. I don't get it either, Zen. Texas, I believe. Then that woman was. It's Orange County, Texas. I don't know exactly where that is, but so here's number four. Another female pedophile is teacher Lisa LeBeau. In 2008, the former Paloki middle school teacher was having sex with one of her 15-year-old students. In early 2011, she pleaded guilty to statutory rape and was sentenced to 5 years probation. One of the conditions of her probation was not to have any contact with the boy or his family. However, she was arrested and imprisoned for 18 months in 2012 for breaking that rule. Wow. Talk about predatory. So here's the little snake in court. They don't have her mug shot, so there's her picture. She looks evil as fuck. Evil. Boy was 26 years old when the sexual assault was committed, according to the boy's declaration to police. The relationship started when he got her mobile number. The relationship became sexual after they began texting. The two have left the region together, traveling over multiple states, including Vermont, New York, Delaware, and West Virginia. According to the young victim, he and Lavoie have built a deep friendship because both of them had difficult lives. Wow, isn't this vulgar and disgusting? Hey, Julie. So we're gonna go down to Lisa Robin Marinelli was a 40-year-old substitute teacher at Mitchell High School in Florida. Marinelli convinced a 17-year-old student to come to her home by attempting to set him up with her 15-year-old daughter. After a period of time when the two would meet regularly, the boy's father discovered suggestive texts on the son's mobile phone sent by Marinelli. The boy's father reported the matter to the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. Marinelli is now registered as a sex offender and was sentenced to 1 year of house arrest. Ugh. Okay, Amy McHeleny was a 25-year-old Spanish teacher and former Miss Texas candidate at Hebron High School in Denton County, Texas. In 2006, the beauty queen teacher was accused of having an indecent relationship with a 17-year-old student. One of her work colleagues suspected the relationship and reported the incident to police. McElhenney initially denied any sexual contact with the boy. However, numerous text messages were found on the teacher's phone. So here's this little witch or bitch. The student reported to police that they have engaged in sexual intercourse on numerous occasions at her apartment. The grand jury decided not to jail Amy McElhenney, nor was charged with the offense because the boy had reached the age of consent in the United States. However, she was fired from her teaching position. So here's Stephanie Ragusa. Stephanie Ragusa is a former teacher at Davidson Middle School in Tampa Bay. Ragusa was a special needs teacher who took advantage of two teen boys in 2006 and 2007. Ragusa had broken her foot and was wheelchair bound. She asked a 14-year-old student at the school if he would push her around, explaining to him that this would help him out with his extreme shyness. She encouraged him to visit her at her apartment where she sexually abused him on multiple occasions. She was also having a sexual relationship with another 16-year old student at the time. As a consequence, the teacher was ordered 10 years imprisonment. However, she was released after 60 years for good behavior, even though the that ordered her sentence called her a sexual predator. So look at this cunt. Look at that smile on her. Ew. Ugh. So here's one of the most famous or infamous. Mary Kay Letourneau. Mary Kay Letourneau is probably the most infamous female pedophile known to date. The former teacher, who was married with four children, pleaded guilty to two counts of felony and second-degree rape of a child. She had sexual encounters with her 12-year-old student, Billy Bilal, and as a result, she gave birth to his child while awaiting sentencing. Her plea agreement called for no contact with Bilal for life, 6 months in jail, and 3 months suspended. However, her case gained national attention when she was caught by police in a car with Bilal just 1 month after her 3 months in jail. For violation of the conditions of her plea agreement, the judge resentenced her to a maximum of 7 years in prison. Letourneau was released from prison in 2004 and the couple married. In 2017, the couple filed for separation. Mary Kay Letourneau passed away from cancer in July of 2020. So here's this little skanky little bitch. Yeah, she is dead now. Yeah, they even made a Lifetime movie on her. They even made a Lifetime movie because years and years ago it was like, whoa, how can a female teacher do this? Now it's becoming commonplace where females are getting in on sexual abuse of kids in schools. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us watched that movie. I'm not gonna sit there and argue that the Lifetime movie is 100% accurate. It's probably slanted towards a certain point of view, as usually some of these movies are. Look at the one with Gabby Petito in it, and how Eli decided to use that as his point of reference when the movie didn't even go through all the facts of the case. So we have that to consider too. So here we go. Here's a Good point. Society still treats women sexual offenders with a double standard, somehow minimizing the gravity of the situation in their case. Absolutely true. They also have the tendency to excuse the female perpetrator on the reason that she just couldn't help herself. It is unclear why, for some people, it is so difficult to see the damage to the child. They are quick to rationalize the behavior as not harmful, and sometimes even claiming that the victim should be proud of the abuse. When female teachers are the perpetrators of sexual abuse on their students, there is a permanent double standard. The attitude is wrong. I agree. Everyone should get to see that no matter the gender of the sex offender or their victim, the gravity of the fact remains the same, as well as the long-term consequences on the victim's psychological makeup. So let's go through their mug shots one last time. So these women were actually teachers. Now this could be so these female pedophiles could be your friend's mother, your friend's teacher, someone from social services, you name it, they're everywhere. And this, how society treats them, is totally sexist. They should be treated the same way as a male sex offender. So, okay, everyone, we're going to get to the most recent case. Hold on. See if we have her picture here. I can put this up on the screen. Yeah, there's a double standard when it comes to women. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, a woman couldn't do this, a thing like this. So the judge usually gives them lighter sentences. And it's sad. It's the same way, it's the same stereotype that we use for women. It's been going around for years. Oh, women can't commit these vile acts of violence, such as these murders, brutal murders. Some of these crimes that these women commit are just as depraved and just as sick as the men. And some of them, the state asks for the death penalty and they don't get it because the jury says, well, they're women, they can't be that bad. Well, look at the crime they committed and look at the remorse they some of these females have. And The women on death row, the population is growing because people are realizing finally that women can be just as bad as men, or sometimes worse. We have someone in this community named um nicknamed the flashlight or meth head. We have Scotty, who's can rip someone apart over nothing. We have Natasha Cooper, who will drag you without proof. But don't you dare call out a female. They don't even it doesn't even cross their mind over there that there could be females that are sexually depraved bitches that think of this shit. They even fantasize probably about it, and they project it onto the males that they don't like in this community, and it's getting to be pathetic and disgusting. Knowing full well, full well how dangerous it is. So here's the I'm gonna put up the last one. She's the one of the most famous these days. So Ghislaine Maxwell. Now her crimes were it's a little complicated, but she was dating this the man underneath her photo, and she wanted to make her man happy. She wanted to make her pedophile boyfriend happy. So she joined in on some of the sexual assaults. She recruited the women or the little girls, the minor children, and she goes on trial. She's arrested. A warrant was put out for her arrest earlier, and they couldn't find her, and they finally find her, I think, in Vermont. So the U.S. attorney that they have the trial in New York. Oh yeah, she is disgusting. This woman is the epitome of evil. This is what I would call sex trafficking. This is what I would call sex trafficking in its finest. There's nothing fine about it, but she was the one that you would pick up the phone. Some of these creeps, male or female, and you would make the appointment. I'd like this. She was a pimp. She was a high priced pimp. You would make the arrangements with her, and she would send you minors. That's what her job was in this whole Jeffrey Epstein saga. But she thought she was untouchable. She got away with it during the Bush Bush administration. She got away with it during the Obama administration. And when Trump came into office, I'll give Trump this: no mercy. They got picked up. Since Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell under suspicious circumstances. The only one left was her to prosecute. So just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay. Let me just click out of here. All right. So here they are. So this case started with Virginia Giuffre, where she sued Ghislaine Maxwell in 2015. Another person came forward and sued Epstein and Maxwell in 2017. In 2019, Maria Farmer, probably not her real name, went public. So you're going to see Maxwell versus Epstein estate, Jane Doe versus Maxwell and Epstein estate. So what happened after he ended up dead was a trust fund was established with his money for victims to file for instead of suing because there were so many victims. So then Maxwell actually admitted things in the one deposition to in one of the lawsuits, and it was used against her in court. So they picked her ass up and prosecuted her, and she was found guilty. The the U.S. government proved he did it. So attempts to locate Maxwell to serve court documents. So in 2019, they couldn't find her. So she was in hiding. So here's the criminal charges. So she was it wasn't Vermont, it was New Hampshire, excuse me. Let me correct that right now. Maxwell was arrested in Bradford, New Hampshire by the FBI on July 2nd, 2020. Through the use of IMSI catcher Stingray mobile phone tracking device on a phone used to call by her to call one of her lawyers, her husband, Scott Bogerson, and her sister Isabel. So Ghislaine Maxwell was charged with 6 federal crimes, including enticement of minors, sex trafficking of children, and perjury. The indictment charged that between 1994 and 1997, she assisted, facilitated, and contributed to the abuse of minor girls, despite knowing that one of the 3 unnamed victims was 14 years old. So as of April 28th, 2021, Maxwell was held without bail, but her lawyer asked for her to be held on $5 million bail with a monitored home confinement while awaiting trial, which was denied. So she stayed in federal lockup until her trial. So on December 29th, 2021, Maxwell was found guilty and convicted by a jury in U.S. federal court on 5 sex trafficking relating counts, carrying a potential custodial sentence of up to 65 years. Okay. So they're in the appeals process, which I don't think is really going to do much because she'll just have, because the federal system is quite different than a state conviction. She's just gonna get her appeal to the second circuit, and the Supreme Court doesn't even have to hear her case, and that there might be another panel of judges that review a conviction of this caliber. But once her once her appeal is heard by the Second Circuit, it's up to the Supreme Court whether they hear her appeal or not. And I highly doubt that they'll even hear this because there's no real legal issues to sort out here. Yeah, she was convicted. Yeah, she was convicted, and she's serving hard time. Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell is one of the worst we've seen in a long time. When I heard of Mary Kay Letourneau, it was like, what? Yeah, we had one student in high school that used to hit on the teachers, the female teachers, and they handled it so well. They would write them up. They would write it up and send it to the principal's office. And yeah, he would get in school detention a lot. So saying, yeah, the old statement, "I am your teacher. You are the student." No, but some of these women are disgusting to the point where it's, oh, who cares? Age is only a number, right? Age is only a number, and it's like getting to the point where the female number of these offenses and females getting arrested for acts like this are going up. This used to be a back in maybe the 70s. This used to be a rare occurrence. Now it's going now the percentage is going up to like 10, 15, 20%. So Ghislaine Maxwell is appealing. I highly doubt due to Ghislaine Maxwell's character that she'll actually do the time. This is just my opinion. Yeah, Chris, it doesn't it's like the point of this is this whole thing is sexist as hell in this community. Oh, it's called a few it's called few men in the community the P word because they can't beat the argument. But what they forget to mention is we have all these female sexual predators out there that abuse children too, and it's not even being talked about. Now, it's not being talked about. It's not being mentioned. It's they're being crybabies. It's wham 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 wham. It's like, excuse me, if 90%, over 90% of this community is female, and there's okay, a handful of males here, it's not fucking sexism because you're getting a damn response to your damn bullshit or your immoral behavior on here. But then because the males have a legitimate argument sometimes. Oh, they can't fight Jamie on this argument. They can't fight me on that argument. So they have to resort to the P word. They have to resort to calling to accuse me of beating my mommy just because, hey, oh, I can't beat their argument. Let's accuse them of something awful and no proof. Let's just hope that they just hope if they say it enough times, it will ring true to people. So this Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in a court of law. Now, where have we been caught talking sexualized to minors? Show us. Where has Jamie talked dirty or in a sexual manner to a child? Receipts are required. Receipts are fucking required here. They can't show that. The closest they can show is that video of Clorox who was talking dirty on Jamie's panel. It was a one-way street. Everyone saw the clip, and Jamie wasn't even encouraging it. The only thing Clorox was doing was saying what a female on YouTube was doing to him. Lifting up her top, or he saw her nipple, or whatever the deal may be. But Jamie wasn't acting inappropriate. And he actually tried to shut him down one time when he says, I'm not going to talk to you about that. Don't these people listen? Don't these people listen? No, they have to take a video clip like that and twist it because we're the hated bunch. And Moon had actually had a point. If one person or two people actually had a fallout with Jamie, it's not going to affect him at all. Like, look at Tiffany. Look at Miss Flashlight. Look at all the things she's been pulling around here. What effect has it had? Really? What effect has it had? None. Not, you may have had a few people go split, the splat, as you call it. You had Sally Ann leave. Okay, you had Cratchels and Kimballs. They were scumbags anyway, so you may have gotten to Jenny for a little bit. You got to this one. The effect is temporary. You didn't hurt Jamie's bottom line. You're not going to stop people from donating to him. You're not going to stop people from watching his channel. What the fuck? False accusations just when they're debunked gives them even more credibility. So what the fuck? Or why the fuck are you still doing this? It's ineffective. Yeah, it is cringy as fuck. It is damn cringy as fuck. And we never heard Jamie make any gross remarks about children. I never made gross remarks about children. Hey, hell, children shouldn't be brought to this drama community for any reason, except maybe if you're bringing your kid online, it's who's not a minor, and they're getting involved in this shit. Then maybe that would be fair game. But otherwise, people's kids should be kept out of your mouths. And then someone decides to tag me and say, well, she's a lady, not a motherfucker like you called her. What would you rather me call her for going over to someone's stream supporting Lola sexualizing a child? What would you rather me call you? Hmm? What would you rather have me call you if you do something as shitty and depraved as that? And then you sit there and complain, well, yeah, Chris, give people a chance. Oh, I'm just sick of this selective morals thing where the rules don't apply. It's like, how do I put this? Well, because they're Craftles and Kimballs, the rules don't apply to them. Same thing with some of these other creators like Natasha. Well, I could drag anyone without proof or and go real down and dirty. But don't do it to me. Hey, Witchy. Oh, thank you so much, Rebel Soul. Thank you so much. Yeah, we would not support anybody, even Jamie, if we heard him speak in a predatory manner regarding a child. And Samantha Bree's right. I wouldn't either. But they sit there over at Scotty's Skanky Pants and pretend to virtue signal when they have someone named ODN who's caught on video supporting a friend hunting for 12-year-old girls. That is fucking disgusting. But it's all right. He's given a pass because he hates Jamie and his Legion. Oh, it's okay for Sally and cheer on someone and Lola or Sophie, whatever her name is. It's all right. It's all right for them to do this. They sit there on panel and try to virtue signal morals when they don't practice them themselves. It's truly disgusting. And then they have the flashlight on. Yeah, the flashlight. Who sat there in 2016 defending someone who put up McDonald's footage from the playground making sexualized comments towards kids as it was no big deal. And then when she gets so much clapback from her words, then she backtracks and says, well, I didn't approve of what he did, but he's not a P word. Make up your mind, bitch. Make up your damn mind. I, I, I I'm going to read the definition of pedophilia, the ages. The psychiatric diagnostic criteria for pedophilia, the cutoff point, is 13. So her stating that it's 7 and under is a lie. You can look it up, put the term in. Wikipedia will tell you. First paragraph. First paragraph. Hey, I want to put that on the screen right now. So people can't sit there. Here it is, everyone. Here it is. So here it is. They call it a psychiatric disorder. It is in a way, but it's more of a crime of control. They're not actually attracted to the children. It's a complicated and then there's an online group that's trying to normalize this behavior. I wouldn't doubt if Miss Flashlight is a part of that group I ran into a while back. So it's in black and white. So the cutoff point usually for is 13 here. So you see that psychiatric diagnostic criteria for pedophilia extend the cutoff point for prepubescence to age 13. So it's 13 and under, everyone. Yikes. Yeah, Witchy. The thing is, Witchy, they accuse the men of being sex offenders on here, the P word, but they don't consider the females. I never heard a female on here. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend to know everything. But I never heard a female in this community being called the P word. I'm sorry, I never heard that. But it's always the men who get called that when the argument can't be beat, so they go down low towards that, thinking, "Oh, that's the worst thing you could do to somebody." And they go for it. They cut for the throat. Yeah, which I never heard it myself, but I'm sure some of maybe a few of you may have heard it. Yeah, but some of these females on here, they tend to support the male counterpart, and they're it's more making excuses for them. Oh, they can't help it. Bullshit. Let's just put it this way. I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's definitely not 7. The flashlight can't even get her facts straight. If I want to know something, I'll look it up. Google's right there. Bing is right there. Look it up. I just showed everyone. Yeah, Samantha. It's being so easily tossed around here, like they're literally normalizing this shit. Next, they'll be saying he's a serial killer. Yikes! no proof, no nothing. Yeah, I used to be I saw actual I actually saw proof years and years ago when someone actually accused somebody of that. And that was rare, but I heard there was a mother one time accused someone of sending nudes to her kid. This was on Facebook, and she actually showed receipts. She actually showed receipts, everyone. The dirty conversations, everything. So if you want to accuse somebody, you, you better have proof. And not Scotty's nothing burgers, everyone. So all right, everyone. So Jamie's going live in 5-10 minutes. So I'm gonna cut this short right now. So I'm just gonna post the link to membership. So if anyone wants to buy a membership, please feel free to. They're $1.99. So I'm not an MKB. I don't drag people for not making a purchase. So, or I don't hunt you down in the hospital when you get into a car accident, or Andrea mom. I'm not like Andrea mom. Will hunt you down and say, "Where's my rent money?" So, all right, everyone. So I want to thank everyone for coming, and I'll see you over at Jamie's.